It's the Mustang Insider Show presented by Cal Portland, the largest building materials company of cement and construction material products on the West Coast. Now, here's Chris Sylvester, the voice of the Mustangs.
Cal Portland presents another edition of the Mustang Insider, and we march along here in the month of May. It's hard to believe the month of May is almost behind us. It's almost the summertime, which means that Cal Poly Athletics, it's going to be on pause until we get back our fall sports in late August into the month of September. But there is still one more baseball series left in 2021. Cal Poly, they're heating up. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. Hawaii comes to town for a 4-game series this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. More and more capacity allowed at Baggett Stadium. Over 1,000 fans were there a couple weeks ago when Fullerton came to town, and we're hoping the same this weekend. It's going to be senior day on Sunday. It's always an emotional day. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to reflect on, and the Mustangs will honor 4 outgoing players, including a guy that's been with the program since the 2016-2017 academic and athletic year. Myles Emmerson, we call him the super senior. I guess that's the nickname for everybody that decided to use that extra year of eligibility that was given back by the COVID shortened season last year. Myles, thanks so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to hop on with us. Can you believe that there's just one weekend left in your college baseball career at Cal Poly?
First off, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And no, this is crazy. It flew by so fast. Like, it's been the best 5 years of my life, and I didn't think it would go by this fast. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it feels like just yesterday you were catching guys like Spencer Howard and Eric Ullman and catching alongside John McKay and Nick Meyer, among others. It has certainly flown right by, but you guys have had a lot of great memories, and I'd love to reflect on those with you in just a little bit. But to give folks a background, you're from Spring Valley, which is just outside of San Diego, El Capitan High School graduate. What led you to pick Cal Poly back when you were a senior in high school and making that decision on where to continue playing baseball and where to continue your education?
I think it was my junior year when I was starting to look at colleges, look at where I wanted to go to. I knew I wanted to keep playing baseball, so that was a big part of it. And I went on a couple visits up here, and I really liked the campus. I liked the town. I liked the coaches. So when they offered me, it was sort of a no-brainer. I loved everything about San Luis Obispo, so I wanted to come here, and I was fortunate enough to get an offer and be able to come play baseball here.
Well, you played a little bit as a true freshman in 2017. I mentioned a couple of the guys that you caught. Spencer Howard's now in the big leagues with the Philadelphia Phillies. Eric Ullman, who was the Friday night guy in the rotation that year, he is pitching in the Chicago Cubs minor league system. And you were behind a guy by the name of Nick Meyer your first couple of years at Cal Poly, 2017, 2018. You were the number 2 catcher on the depth chart behind him, and he did pretty much everything well. He swung the bat well. He was great defensively. Base runners wouldn't like to run on him a whole lot. He was recently promoted to AAA in the New York Mets minor league system, so we hope to see him at the big league level sometime in the very near future. But how much did you learn from him, and how much can you attribute maybe some of your success to what you learned from him your first couple of years?
I learned almost everything from Nick. Coming in, I was a clueless freshman. I thought I was better than I was, and he kind of really helped me take my next level from like a really good high school player to a good college player. He knows the game just as good as anyone else, and it was good. Like, chatting with him every day at practice during drills, like, he was showing me the ins and outs, and I really learned a lot from him. He helped me take my game to the next level.
Myles Emmerson with us. He is a super senior. He'll be playing his final games as a Cal Poly Mustang this weekend against the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Just to recap what a career it's been. This is year number 5 for you at Cal Poly. 2018, as a platoon guy, you hit over 300. 2019, your first full season as the starting catcher, you were a Big West honorable mention selection. No question that 2020 would have likely ended with some more accolades. You were hitting over 300 at the time of the shutdown. And this season, as we speak, you're on a 9-game hitting streak. You and Brooks Lee, a pretty decent baseball player himself, lead the team with 22 multiple hit games. You're hitting close to 400 the last few weekends. And you guys, as I mentioned, have won 7 out of your last 8 games. Hey, your dad was a gaucho. He was a tennis player at UC Santa Barbara. Your sister played softball at San Diego State. How big were sports in the household growing up?
Sports was everything in the household. Everything we did was competition pretty much. Like on Christmas, we'd be outside in the driveway shooting hoops, or we'd go to the field and I'd hit. My parents would hit me ground balls. My mom would try and hit the ball past me. Everything was around sports. My parents both played tennis. My brother would play a little bit of everything. And then my sister played softball and then won a state championship playing tennis in junior college too. So yeah, my whole family's athletic. All my grandparents played sports, and it's all I've really known, to be honest.
So your dad being a Santa Barbara alum, it has been no question a very intense rivalry between you guys and Santa Barbara, especially during your time here. Of course, we all remember that epic series to close 2019, and I know it's not wasn't the desired ending for you guys there, but just to be able to give yourselves that chance on that final day in the regular season back in 2019, remarkable, especially considering what that Santa Barbara team had done at home up to that point. You kind of spoiled their season in a way. They were going to host a regional. You go there and take 2 out of 3, and they wind up not winning a game in the postseason that year. What's the how has that maybe added to the intensity of the rivalry for yourself, knowing that, hey, I'm at Cal Poly, but my old man was a gaucho.
It's great. I mean, whenever we play against Santa Barbara, he's wearing Cal Poly gear, so I think that says all you need to know. And then, yeah, that rivalry is great. That was actually the first year I've ever lost in a game to them, and then this year is the first year I ever lost in a series. But it's been one of the best rivalries I've ever been a part of. We've always been competitive, and it's two of the top teams on the West and in the Big West playing against each other. So it's always great.
Great rivalry for sure. And you guys have put together some of your best baseball of the year here the last couple of weekends. Uh, what a memory that must have been, sweeping Cal State Fullerton. I know this year's team, not the power that they usually have with all the history and the 4 national championships that program has won. But after such a challenging 2020, having that season cut short, a season that you guys had big aspirations in, and having to start this season without any fans, what was it like a couple weeks ago to be back at Baggett Stadium with over 1,000 fans on hand and you guys playing some great winning baseball?
It was incredible. I remember, like, the first time I noticed how great the atmosphere was is there was a line drive hit to Joe, and he made sort of a diving catch, and the place kind of erupted, and I haven't heard that in well over a year. So yeah, that kind of sent chills down my spine, and it reminded me how much I enjoyed having fans out there, especially a packed house.
Myles Emmerson hitting 313 this year, 13 doubles, 21 batted in. He's often on base when Brooks Lee comes up, as we mentioned, a 9-game hitting streak. Hopefully we can just keep that going, right? And have
Yeah.
that hitting streak kind of finish your college career. That would be pretty cool. You're a history major. I know you have aspirations to continue playing baseball. I've had a chance to talk to a couple of scouts, and they admire your work ethic and all the work you've put in, and how much you've improved from your freshman season to where you are now. How much thought have you put into your post Cal Poly career? I know you've been so focused on this season, but I'd imagine now with just one weekend left, some of those thoughts are kind of coming into your head a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it a little bit, but I'm still focused on the big picture, which is our finishing off our season strong and enjoying my last ride with the boys because I love all of them like brothers, and I want to finish strong with them and just focus on that task at hand. And then whatever happens after that will happen. So I'm not too worried about it. I put myself in a good position, and I'm just trying to finish strong with all my guys.
Yeah, no question. You've blossomed as a defensive catcher, but we mentioned some of the great numbers swinging the bat as well. You have the approach of taking the ball the other way. That's when we know Myles Emerson's at his best, is when he's picking up base hits to right field and right center field. Where did you get that approach from? And how far has your hitting approach come from when you first got to campus in 2016 and to where you are now here in 2021?
I think that came from when I was a kid. Uh, when my parents would take me out to the field, my dad would throw me batting practice, and my mom would shag baseballs. So I was always just trying to make her run all the way around the field. That's what she told me to do for exercise. So if she was chasing the ball on left, I'd hit it to right, and if she was going to right, I'd hit to left. And then uh, my approach definitely changed a lot through the years here. When I was a freshman, I remember I'd get up there and kind of just swaying at whatever's in the strike zone. Now I kind of refined it, and I'm a little more selective, and I swing at what I want to swing at. And it's definitely resulted in some more hard contact, which is good.
Myles Emmerson, our guest, super senior catcher. You, along with Cole Cabrera, Nick DiCarlo, and Connor Gurnick, will be honored on Senior Day. All of those guys do have some extra college eligibility, but this is it for you. Uh, how quickly did you make the decision to come back this year after the season was canceled last March?
It was sort of a no-brainer. I had a little bit of school left. I wanted to get my degree, and I didn't want to end my time here with Cal Poly baseball like it did last year. I wanted to give it one full ride and see what we could do with it. So yeah, Coach Lee and all the coaches told me they wanted me to come back, so I never really thought about it. I was always coming back.
Hey, you mentioned what type of role Nick Meyer played for you as a young catcher in 2017, 2018. I'd imagine you're kind of playing that role now for some of the younger guys. What's it like being the experienced veteran, per se, at that catcher position with this Cal Poly baseball program?
It's great. I get to show Colin things that happen during the game, and he's turned into a good catcher. He's getting better. There's little things he needs to work on, but he's come a long way, and he's definitely ready to handle a pitching staff. So it's yeah, it's been cool being that mentor kind of, but I also like to lead by example. So uh, it's definitely been a good ride for sure.
Yeah, Mustang fans have gotten to know Colin Viegas a little bit this season, especially with all those double headers. Although Colin's been dealing with a little bit of an injury bug the last couple of weekends. So this past weekend in Davis, you caught 35 innings. How'd you feel Monday morning?
I yeah, I slept in a little bit. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. But uh, yeah, I've gone in the training room with Neil, and it's just part of being a catcher. It's part of the grind. I've learned to love it, so I'm getting used to it by now. The plan is to catch 162 one day, so
Right.
got to start somewhere.
Right. Yeah. The Iron Man behind the plate. No question about that. Another thing that comes with being a catcher, obviously, is getting on the right page and getting a good rapport with your pitching staff. And we mentioned some of the pitchers you caught as a freshman that are now playing professionally. But how about the staff, especially this past weekend? Andrew Alvarez, he's been your teammate for 5 years here. He started as a reliever, and he has just really blossomed into his own the last couple of months as a starter. He threw his first career complete game, a one-run performance this past weekend. And then on the other side of the spectrum, on Sunday, a young redshirt freshman right-hander by the name of Caden Sheedy, who was recovering from Tommy John last year. We didn't see him at all. He kind of struggled out of the gate as a reliever this year and didn't have the best first couple of starts. But boy, I mean, he only gave up 3 hits, throwing just fastballs and changeups on Sunday. Talk about, maybe those 2 performances and some of the other guys on this pitching staff that have seemingly improved since opening day.
Yeah, Alvy, he's come a long way. When he was a freshman, you could tell he had the stuff. He didn't exactly have the feel for the ball. And then he got it all on his own. He worked harder than anyone I know. And every success that he's gone to this point, it's all because of him, his work ethic, and he's going to be successful no matter what he does. And then Caden Sheedy, it was great to see him break out like that. I think he's going to be good in the long run for us, and we're going to need him. So he definitely showed out, and that's what we're going to need from him. So it was good.
Myles Emmerson again with us here on the Mustang Insider. A couple more things before I let you go, Myles. See, you got the nickname Pork Chop. Where did that come from? And do your teammates regularly call you that?
Yeah, it's all I hear. All I hear is Pork Chop. It was my freshman year. Nick Meyer just started calling me Pork Chop, and it just stuck. So yeah, everyone calls me pork. There's pork, there's pork chop, there's chop, porky. So yeah, it kind of grew, and I like it. I think it's a great nickname.
Hey, 4 more games left in your Cal Poly career this weekend against Hawaii. You guys aren't going to get to a regional this year, but you do have a couple of things to strive for, finishing over 500 overall. And in conference play, you can do that with a series sweep over Hawaii. And I know that you're going to take all 4 games in the series game by game. But as you reflect back on everything else in your Cal Poly career, is there one specific moment or at bat or defensive play that just stands out to you and gives you that adrenaline rush when you think about it?
It's got to be when I led off the inning, bottom 9 against Vanderbilt
With the double.
Yeah, we're facing their closer, and I got to a 3-2 count. I knew a fastball was coming, so I jumped on it, hit that double, and then walking it off against them when they're ranked number 1 in the nation. That's pretty cool.
And you scored the winning run, is that right?
No, I scored the tying run.
You scored the tying run. That's right. You guys trailed. That's right. You trailed. And
yeah, we gave up it's like a 5-run lead or something.
Yeah, but everybody just remembers that 9th inning. That's right. Quick hands, hit that double down the left field line, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you get your pitch, you turn on it and hit it out. I'll never forget that overcast late April day in 2019, your first career college home run against the USC Trojans. That was a memorable one over the left field wall at Baggett Stadium. And maybe you've got another one in you this weekend. How about it?
I think I do. Everyone's been giving me a hard time. I don't have one yet this year, but I think I got 1 or 2 coming this weekend.
Okay. All right. Well, when you hit it out, I won't act surprised. To trust me on that. Myles, thanks so much for your time. I speak for the majority of Mustang Nation when I say it's been a pleasure watching you grow as a player and as a young man over these 5 years. And we wish you the best of luck this weekend and beyond your Cal Poly career. Thanks again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that was Myles Emmerson, Cal Poly catcher. He has just been a treat to watch over these last 4 or 5 seasons, and we're going to miss him behind the plate and swinging the bat for sure. But he's still got 4 games in the green and gold this weekend. Cal Poly hosting Hawaii, 5 o'clock first pitch Friday. Doubleheader Saturday starts at 1, and Sunday Senior Day. Get there early for the ceremony to honor the 4 guys that have been great Cal Poly Mustangs throughout their college careers. On Sunday, that's a 1 o'clock first pitch. Senior Day ceremonies will start shortly after noon. Tickets are available, letting in more than 1,000 this weekend. Your last chance to see some really good college baseball at Baggett Stadium for a while. GoPoly.com for tickets. We'll see you next time on the Mustang Insider, presented by Cal Portland.
This has been the Mustang Insider Show presented by Cal Portland, with a commitment to environmental leadership that has made the organization stronger and is the primary choice of contractors. The Mustang Insider Show. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation of the Cal Poly Sports Network.